All right, welcome to SR Broadcasting. We are here tonight with GAC at Daytona International Speedway in the Camping World Trucks. Going to be a 90 lap race here tonight. Should be pretty good. Looks like the guys having a pretty good warm up out there. I'm here with Joe Mitchell. What's up, Joe?
Doing all right tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Working out some bugs again on this audio. Been having a lot of issues with it. Tried to go to a mixer, but having tons of problems with it. So I don't know. Hopefully it sounds good. We're going to kind of keep an ear on it and see if we need to make any last minute adjustments before we go to race. But I don't know, man. Just when you think you got it, you try something different and it bugs out on you.
Sorry, I was checking out our volumes, making sure we were all doing all right, which we are, by the way. But yeah, looking forward to tonight. There's some new names in this crowd tonight. I'm pretty anxious to see how this is going to go. They got a pretty big field here for tonight.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Got 22 guys out here at Daytona. Hey, just when you listen to it, listen to the truck sounds. Let me know if they're up too high. They're really loud in my headset, but that could just be on my end. You know what I mean? I see somebody going around.
Yes, sir. Give me just a second.
Yeah, hopefully we don't see the big one here today.
Yeah, they are. They're a little loud. It's not too bad. I'm sure lowered them down just a bit.
All right. Hopefully that's a little bit better. I can hear it a little bit better now also. It seemed real loud in my head.
Well, whatever you're doing in your head, it came into mine too. So
I'll tell you what, man, this is so frustrating having these sound issues back and forth, you know. Um, Eventually I'll get a handle on it. We had it going pretty good for a while, but it just seemed like trying to get that mixer to get in here with this. I really wanted to get that mixer set up and enhance the sound a little bit, but it just would not do what I wanted it to do. So we'll make the best of it. Oh, we see some wrecking going on. Yeah, we're gonna see some good racing here. Hopefully, it won't get too bad. You know how it could be. Daytona, man, it could be all or nothing. So hopefully it won't be that way. These guys will have a nice run here tonight, man. 90 laps. I know they have one fast repair, so that'll help if you do get in anything, whether it's your fault or not. So it's definitely going to help you there. But it's still tough. I got the points. How about we go over the points coming into tonight's race? Right now we have Gary Shank who comes in your leader, and he's got this is race number 3, so he's coming in with a 1 point lead, and then we have a tie for second place between Kurt Davidson and Tony Gray, and then in fourth place is Dwayne LaPrade. Fifth place is Shane Gross, and Shane is only what is it, 4 points behind the leader. And then let's see, you got Michael Palmer, Paul Cohen, Dean Viney, Michael Campbell, and David Gameforth. And even all the way back to 11th place, Jim Locking, which he's a three-way tie between Jim Locking, Mark McFadden, and Len McNeese. They're only 10 points behind the leader. I mean, so it's early. It's anybody's call to be the leader, in the championship points here.
Yeah, I'd say that's a really close points gap from first to about 15th or so. So definitely anything can happen here tonight. It's 90 laps. That's a long race here, and I'm sure that this is a good group of guys. They'll get it going good, but I mean, still 90 laps. They're gonna be tired after this one's over.
Yeah, 90 lap race here at Daytona is, in my opinion, is actually a good race. I think that's 90 to like 120 laps. I think is a real good race. It gives you a chance to settle in, gives you a chance to try to use some strategy, and when you're done, you know that you raced. So it's not like coming in doing a quick 40 lap shootout and it's over and you're like, oh, that was it. So I'm looking forward to it tonight, man. I know these guys are excited to get it done. You see, right now they're getting ready to do a just like what do we call it? Pit party, so they can kind of get a feel for starting in side by side. Move up a little bit and check out what's going on up here in the front of the field. If you can, Joe, break off for a minute and just see if the the truck sound okay right now.
Yes, sir. Still kind of loud.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I'm afraid if I go any lower, there won't even be any sound. Why did you see that? that was the big one, man. Get it out of their system now, get all the big ones out now. This way, when it goes green, that'll be gone. We're coming to about 4 minutes left before they go. They're probably going to go into a driver's meeting in a minute, so we'll just hang out a minute. We're going to adjust a couple things, and then we'll eventually go to uh, the national anthem. I think I was. No, maybe not. I might have been lagging back a little bit.
It looks like these guys are in for a driver's meeting at the moment.
Yeah, so with that, let's take a quick break. We'll go to the national anthem. I'll get a couple of things set up over here, and then we'll come right back, everybody. All right, everybody, excuse that. Trying to work out a couple of difficulties here. We are going into qualify now, so let's see who's out on the track. Let's go with the number 33, Mark Koshik. Let's see what kind of times start coming in here tonight. Let's jump inside with him and we'll take a lap around.
It's always interesting to watch qualifying here too, just to see the different ways that guys take their up to speed laps and how they come to their timed lap. I know there's a few different strategies to work into all that. It'd be interesting to watch some of these guys do that.
Yeah, you see some guys they like to run that high line first and catch a lap a little high, then bring it down a little bit lower that second lap, and then usually the third lap they like to take it down to the bottom. I tried it and I don't really get that much of an advantage from doing it that way. My first lap I usually run top to middle groove, and then I just try to stick it down on the yellow for the next two laps.
Yeah, I think I run the top for the first two, and then it can bite you in the butt. So you could screw up your third lap and be up a creek without a paddle. But I think I just do it out of habit now, and I think a lot of other guys do it too. They're not even thinking about it when they're doing it.
But we see Mark Koshik, who we were driving around with just now. He comes in fourth on that lap. Tony Gray is up in the pole at the minute. Let's take a look at Dean Viney as he comes across. Right now, Dean being shown in eighth. And Gary Shank jumps up to the number one spot.
Looks like all the times through about the top 10 are pretty close right now.
And that'll put Dean up to fifth. So he had a pretty decent lap that one. We'll take a look at Dwayne. It looks like Dwayne is going to stop here. And we'll jump up with Michael Campbell. Michael Campbell moves it up to third. You see who's up in the front right now. Ryan Gemmel taking over the first spot. And let's take a look at Marcus McFadden in the 04. I'm sorry, in the 40. 04. Where am I going?
It's all right. You're forgiven.
We have a Marcus McFadden in the number 40, and then we have a Mark McFadden in the number 48. So we'll try to keep an eye on that tonight and, keep them separated. We'll do the best we can. Sometimes when you're going through, you see the name quickly, and you don't really get it. So hopefully we stay on top of that. All right, so it looks like our pole setter is going to be Ryan Gemmel. So let's find them as they get set up here on the track. And then we will run through our grid. All right, first place taking the pole here tonight is going to be Ryan Gemmel. Congratulations on the pole here. In second place will go to Gary Shank. Third place will be Michael Campbell. Fourth place will be Mark McFadden. Fifth place goes to Jim Locking. Sixth place will be Dean Viney. Seventh goes to Mark Koshik. Eighth place will be Tony Gray, last season's champion. Ninth place goes to David Gainforth. 10 will be Shane Gross. Joe?
Paul Cohen will start in 11th. Len McNeese starts 12th. 13th is Randy Perdue. 14th is Billy Rodenberger. 15th is Dwayne LaPrade. Shane Papala starts in 16th. Kurt Davidson starting 17th. 18th is Timothy Kelleher. 19th, Matt Werrick Jr. 20th is John Estes. Michael Palmer starts 21st, and rounding out the field is Marcus McFadden in 22nd.
Yeah, so we got 22 guys out here starting tonight, 90 laps here at Daytona, and one fast repair. So going to be an interesting race. Hopefully these guys keep it green. That one fast repair is there just in case. So if something does happen, you know, you can come in, you can get your truck repaired one time like new and get back out there and try again. After that, then it's however much damage you have, you got to sit and get it repaired. So, you know, hopefully these guys won't need it early on. You know how it is, man. It's you don't want to use that fast repair right away. That's something you want to try to keep in the bank for that like last 10 or so lap shootout, you know?
I am sure that a lot of guys don't want to use it tonight, but on the other hand, it's a restrictor plate track, and I think a whole lot of people are going to end up using it. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out here tonight.
So much action goes on here at Daytona. It's one of those hold your breath, hold on to the wheel, and try to stay tucked up. Don't lose that draft. Now,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I wonder if we're going to see quick green after the pace car goes in, or are they going to delay the greens? I know last couple times we're at Daytona, it seemed like as soon as the pace car pulled in, it went green right away. So I'm curious to see which way it's going to go tonight.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I know, like you said, the last couple times they threw it really quick. So I know a lot of guys weren't expecting it and caused some confusion.
Yeah, you know, because you get used to it, you know, running down a little bit before they go ahead and drop the green flag. And the next thing you know, pace car's in green. And you're like, wow, you know, it just really stacked them up. All right, well, the pace car is in.
And it went green right away.
Man, quick.
Ryan Gemmel got a good start all by himself. He didn't have a whole lot of help from behind. Gary Shank and Mark McFadden were able to get a good push on that outside line.
And we see the 92 of Michael Campbell and the 71 of Dean Viney side by side, and they are two wide, a few rows back.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, I wonder if that outside line is going to come through. Here you see Mark McFadden now, kind of in the middle, high lane, low lane. He did have the chance to jump down in front of the number 6, but I don't know if he didn't think he was clear and kind of held off.
I think it's early in the race, and you don't want to ditch a drafting partner that early. So you try to make it so the guy pushing you gets you up clear too.
We see Len McNeese just tucked down into the inside line. And 71 pushing that 48 of Mark McFadden in front. But that inside line right now is going to have the advantage going through the turn. So you can get to the line first. Go a little bit further back in the field here. You see the 33 of Mark Koshik and the number 5 of, did I see some smoke back there? I thought I saw some smoke back there. Might have just been the lights. And back up front, these guys, the top 4 right there, kind of shuffling it around a little bit.
I'm surprised at how well this early on these guys on the outside are hanging on there. Usually you don't see that. It's usually about 15 to 20 laps into a run where you start to see some tire wear come into play, because the inside line will have to start lifting and the outside line doesn't have to do that, and they can keep their momentum up.
They're doing a good job side by side. You can see the outside line kind of breaking up a little bit right now.
Yeah, Mark McFadden got clear that time and dove straight to the bottom.
And look who jumps out in front of the 71. Gary Shank now going to take a look. We have a little bit of a separation here towards the back of the field.
See, Marcus McFadden and Dwayne LaPrat are pretty well behind this lead pack going on. Hopefully they can get together here and try to push their way back up into that draft.
Yeah, they're probably really not too worried about it this early on. We've seen plenty times, especially Dean Viney and Len McNeese. We've seen them way back plenty times at Daytona and Talladega, and Dean found his way up for the win with the 84 of Len McNeese pushing him. So, you know, with 90 laps in this race, I don't think that's really going to be an issue.
I'd say that's one partnership you definitely want to look out for tonight, is the 71 of Dean Viney and the 84 of Len McNeese, because they always seem to find a way to get together on restrictor plate tracks, and when they do, they make some good stuff happen together.
Yeah. So far, these guys are doing a pretty good job. We got, who's that? The 22, Shane Gross is the last guy in that outside line. You got 4 trucks up there trying to keep that line moving. Oh, sorry, 3 trucks up there now.
Yeah, Gary got an open hole and he dove down to the inside line. That leaves Dean Viney, Tony Gray, and who's in the 22? Shane Gross.
Yeah, Shane Gross.
Starting to get some single file action going on here. I'm sure these guys just want to get in line, put some laps away here.
Yeah, so we have right now Ryan Gemmell led 3 laps. Mark McFadden led 2 laps. Gary Shank has 2 laps led. So we've had 3 different leaders. And we'll jump back a little bit further back in the field here. You see the number 72 of John Estes now running in 16th. Michael Palmer in the 31 running in 15th. We see the 89 of Shane Papala and the 41 of Kirk Davidson. Looked like they were going to go to the outside and try and pair it up. I think they kind of thought a little bit better about that, tuck it back in. You see the outside line starting to lose a little bit right now. You see the 71 of Dean Viney all the way back in fourth, getting ready to jump back to fifth place. So I don't know if they had a moment there and had to let it out. We see Ryan Gemmel jump back up in the front to try to get that line moving.
Yeah, it seems like Dean's able to really get on the rear bumper of whoever's in front of him and give them a good push. Didn't seem like no one was really able to get to the back of Dean there to give him the shot up front.
Let's take a jump in with Jim Locking in the 91 and see what he's seeing out his window. Kind of give you a little bit of a view what the drivers are kind of seeing outside their front window there. Gary Shank comes now to 5 laps led. Gary's looking pretty strong early on here tonight. And Gary wants to hang on to that points lead. He was only 1 point ahead, so if he can continue to run he's having a night, he'll be happy with probably coming out of here again, the points leader for race number 3.
Yeah, he's trying to get all those bonus points racked up. We saw how much they played into their last season's championship and how close it all came down to the wire, so I'm sure those guys paid close attention to that.
Watching this race makes me want to get out there. I like you know, restrictor plate racing is kind of, you know, they're fun. I know a lot of guys don't like it. I do like restrictor plate racing. The only problem with it is, you know, you can be out very fast, you know, without even trying. But when things go good and things click and you got some good racing going on, it's definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm usually on the it doesn't go so well end up, but it's very nerve-wracking. I know it kind of looks like these guys are just riding around, and they're not. I mean, they're inches away from one another, and it's white knuckle driving the whole time. Can get pretty nerve-wracking after a while, especially late in the race. You want to put yourself in a good position to work your way up to the front, and one wrong move and you could lose 15 spots. So there's a lot to pay attention to during these races.
Yeah, especially if you try to jump out there a little bit too early. Looks like the outside line is still holding it pretty good together. We have the number 6 of Ryan Gemmel, the 71 of Dean Viney. Who's at the 00 of Tony Gray, the 22 of Shane Gross, and the number 5 of Randy Perdue up there now. So they're trying to form something up there. If these guys can get nose to tail, they might be able to bring it back up. Here comes a 92. He's going to move up to the outside. That's Michael Campbell. See if he can get up there and get pushed in front of Gary Shank there and Mark McFadden. A little bit of a gap back to the 91 you would think might slow them down just a little bit, but they seem to be doing pretty good so far.
I think they're not doing too bad. I think that had the 48 of Mark McFadden been a little further off the bumper of Gary Shank, he They probably could have closed up a little more, but yeah, Mark's really pushing Gary right now, making sure that outside line doesn't get a good run on him.
Yeah, if they can come down and kind of break that draft off of them. Oh, Gary jumps up to the outside and then back down to the inside. So he's going to try to stop that run. That's a pretty good move there by Gary.
Yeah, it's not too often you get to do that and see it work out. That was pretty neat.
And I'll tell you what, I like this truck here, the number 74 Billy Rodenberger. Pennzoil, that paint scheme's always been one of my favorite paint schemes. I used to have the slot cars when I used to go slot car racing, and I had the Pennzoil Cup car with that similar paint scheme. I always liked that paint scheme.
We'll see Billy running pretty good right now. He's up in 7th or 8th. He's not doing too bad tonight. Definitely a good run for him so far.
Yeah, hopefully he can keep it going. You see Dean Viney now jump down to the inside line. So he's going to give up that outside and try and stick it down there low and keep it moving.
I think now's about the time you're going to start to see guys really moving around, guys that were pushing, or they're probably going to be getting their engines pretty hot. You got to tuck out a little bit and get some fresh air flowing on there.
I'll tell you what, I hope we get to see some green flag pit stops, man, because that's always interesting. I'd like to see how the strategy plays out. You know, how many guys come in, how many guys stay out, who's going to try to push it on fuel just a little bit further than the rest. Looks like a couple guys have given up on that outside line and brought it back down to the inside. We see Ryan Gemmel pull in behind of Dean Viney.
Yeah, I think they were able to see how those top two guys were working together and starting to pull away from them. Made the decision to pull back low. Just as I say that, Tony's giving Michael Campbell a good push.
Yeah, we see the speed that he just got right there, man. He's got a good run going on the outside. Getting side drafting off of the 48 of Mark McFadden, trying to grab that win. We're coming to lap number 19 of 90. I'll tell you what, the 48 of Mark McFadden been all over the back bumper of Gary Shank, and you haven't really seen him separate too much. So, you know, I wonder how hot he's running.
Yeah, I know that a lot of guys, I don't know how to put this the best way, but a lot of guys run restrictor plate races a good bit, and they know the temperatures at which you can run. I know some guys like to really push the envelope, and there's a lot of others that kind of err on the caution side of it. So looks like he's kind of pushing it right now.
We're taking a look at Kurt Davidson right now, up to 12th. He started 17th. And we see him tucked down on the inside, moving up a couple spots. To the 89 of Shane Papala in 11th on the outside behind the 22 of Shane Gross. We go back a little bit further. We've got Len McNeese, and Len McNeese started 12th. He drops back 1 to 13th. It seems like Len McNeese back. They're kind of single file, which I think is pretty good. Because if you get single file and stay nose to tail, you're not really going to lose anybody. And you can let these guys kind of fight it out up there, you know?
Yeah, that's one thing you usually see is there'll be a group of guys that just drop back and they just want to stay out of the way, and it's pretty surprising how quickly they can work their way back up. It's like flipping a switch. It seems like all of a sudden they're there.
Yeah, it's like, you know, all right, time to go. Click. All right, turn on the turbo.
Yeah, and they catch up in no time at all. It's pretty wild to watch it all happen. I hope we get to see some of that later on.
Two guys you're going to have to watch out for here tonight is definitely that 71 of Dean Viney and the 84 of Len McNeese. If those two get together, we've seen it before many times. These guys can really keep it together on these restrictor plates and surprise you coming from the back to the front for the win. So I'm wondering who else is going to be out there teaming up here towards the end, trying to get a run.
I know before we went live here, we were talking a bit about Shane Papala and Kurt Davidson. I wouldn't be surprised to see those two team up together. And it looks like Mark McFadden and Gary Shank have been working together very well. It's definitely one of those races where it pays to have a good reputation. Guys want to work with you.
We're here tonight with GAC Racing League at Daytona for 90 laps as we get ready to cross for lap number 24. We had 2 lead changes. No. 3 lead changes. I don't know why it says 2 lead changes. We've had Gary Shank, who's got 17 laps led. Dean Viney, who just got a lap led. Mark McFadden with 2 laps led, and Ryan Gemmel with 3 laps led. Ryan Gemmel was your pole setter here. So we have Dean Viney now out front in front of Gary Shank.
Yeah, it looked like when Dean dove to the low line, that really kind of shuffled up that outside lane. It's going to take them a lap or two to get reorganized and start pushing their way back up there again.
Yeah, we see the 92 of Michael Campbell, man, jump out to the outside and try to get to the front. It seems like every time he gets up there to the front, something's happened, and he's had to work his way back up from like 4th or 5th position. But he's got the 00 Tony Gray behind him and the 22 of Shane Gross. So, I mean, he's definitely a good company out there in that outside line.
So we see Michael Campbell getting a good push there by Tony Gray. Gets him up to about 2nd place. The inside line's a little more organized. I expect to see them put that gap right back on him.
When do you think we'll see pit stops start coming in?
I don't know. I want to say, well, the trucks, they get pretty decent fuel mileage. I want to say that you could probably run to about 50 to 55 laps.
I believe they lowered the fuel down, though. If I remember, I think it's like at 70%.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I thought I saw it was around 70%.
If it's on 70%, it's going to be a 2-stop race, so you might want to just break it up and pit every 30-ish laps, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'm thinking somewhere in the 30s. Then we see somebody up into the wall. Billy Rodenberger kind of stuck up in the wall, keeping it straight. Sorry about that, Joe.
Oh, no, you're fine. I think we jinxed him. We were talking about him having a good run so far, and he ends up out in the wall.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened to him, but he's still running, got the truck going straight. So I don't know, may want to come in, get some of that repair fix or use that fast repair and get back out.
It'll be interesting to see what happens there. I don't know. Having damage, it's no fun here. You end up feeling like you're running around all by yourself a lot of the time. So may be better off just to get it done out of the way early and just pray for a caution and try to get a lap back if he goes a lap down.
And take a look at who's got himself up into 9th place. Number 89, Shane Kapala. He's moved up quite a bit from 16th to 8th.
Yeah, we've raced a lot with him. He seems to do that a lot. There's quite a few guys who are able to do that. It's pretty impressive to watch.
And we see that 92 of Michael Campbell, man, almost get back up to the front, and it just kind of, that separation between him and Tony Gray kind of pulls him back a little bit, and you see him kind of slingshot back up.
Yeah, it looks like Tony gets to him, he gives him a really good push, but then they get a gap going, and once that happens, it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah.
It can get pretty frustrating out there.
Let's go back. Dwayne LaPrade by himself. Kind of way far back. Marcus McFadden now 1 lap down. I don't know. It looks like he's coming back out on the track. I don't know if something happened between the two.
I'm not sure. I know they were working together back there to try to get caught up.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything come across the radio, so I'm not really sure what happened with him. But Dwayne by himself, pretty far back, and Marcus McFadden down 1 lap.
It's like the 92 of Michael Campbell was able to find a hole back to get into that lower line that leaves Tony Gray and Shane Gross the only ones on the outside at the moment.
And we see guys
hitting pit road.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right. I was going to say the same thing.
Looks like we were right around lap 30.
Trying to get a good camera angle here, and I cannot get one, so let's move on.
Moving on.
So right now that'll move Tony Gray up to the front. And the second bunch will be coming in now. Looks like they did a pretty good job getting in.
Yeah, I didn't see any real contact there by anybody. They did a really good job getting on the pit road. But there's a smaller group that didn't pit that time that I would assume is going to pit this time around. There's definitely an advantage to that. Not as many cars. You get to, you can run it in to pit road a little harder. So it'll be interesting these next few laps to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of contact on pit road between the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade and the 51 of Paul Cohen. You see Paul Cohen trying to get back out on the track. The truck got a little bit sideways on him as he enters the track again. Just looked like both going, you know, trying to leave the pits and made just a tiny bit of contact. Try to see if there's any damage on the front of Paul's truck. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look like it really will affect him that much. Maybe just a tiny little bit on the left-hand side. And he's going to bring it back down pit road.
These pit stops really spread everything out.
They're waiting to see how iRace scores everybody here now. Right now it's showing Len McNeese up in the front. We just saw Len McNeese sliding a little bit into the grass coming out of the pits. He kept it straight.
He's out in front of these guys a little bit, but he's got Tony Gray and Gary Schenk coming up on him.
Yeah, and they're going to pass him with ease. And so is Ryan Gemmell and the rest. He's going to have to try and tuck in behind.
Yeah, but he's in a pretty good spot here. He's got a group in front of him, a group behind him, so should be all right here.
We'll take a look at the 5 up front. Gary Schenk, Tony Gray, Ryan Gemmell, Shane Gross, Shane Papala. The top 5, and 3 on the outside, 2 on the inside.
And Gary was on the inside. He was pushing Tony there, and as Ryan was coming along, he jumped out in front of him, used that push to clear Tony to get back out front and take the lead again. It's a pretty good move.
And here comes the 41 of Kurt Davidson on the outside. Gonna try and hook up with them and get that outside line moving. So we see all the way back to 10th. So 1st through 10th are all kind of bunched together. 11th place is John Estes, and he's in that 2nd group as they're coming up on the 51 of Paul Cohen. And they're about 7.5 seconds back. So if these guys can keep it single file, it'll definitely bring them back towards the front. Go back a little bit further to where Dean Viney, I don't know, he got hung out there alone.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm not too sure what happened with him and Mark McFadden up just ahead of him in 15th, because those guys were up part of that lead pack, and I know that some guys have different strategies as far as what to do. I know some will take 2 tires and fuel only. Some guys take 4 tires, so it's I'm sure that's why we're seeing the big breakup in the packs that we've seen.
And look up here at the top 5 right now. Ryan Gemmell, your leader. Shane Papala 2nd, Kurt Davidson 3rd, Gary Schenk 4th, Tony Gray 5th. Didn't take the 89 and the 41 long to get up to the front, running 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, that was one of the pairs we were talking about earlier, working together right now. You see that outside line getting formed up again.
You have a lot of trucks out there. We see Len McNeese pull it on down, and the number 5 from Randy Perdue pull it on down. So
I'm just going to quit mentioning some of the stuff that's happening, because as soon as we say it, those guys prove us wrong.
yeah, it's over. See him catching up to the 74 of Billy Rodenberger. To the 41 of Kurt Davidson, kind of gets stuck down in the middle.
Oh boy, that was close.
I was just going to say that was really close.
And sometimes they're calling out saying slow core, stay low, go high. I wonder if there was some late communication there. It's kind of what it looked like, because Billy was low and kind of drifted up a little bit. That really broke that outside lineup though.
Well, that'll give Billy the draft, and we also see the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade back in the draft. Dwayne is showed a lap down in 18th. And Billy right now is the lucky dog, so I'm sure Dwayne is going to want to try and get in front of the 74, at least be in that lucky dog position should a caution come out.
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch. I'm sure it's not gonna make you're not gonna make a whole lot of friends out there trying to make a move on lead lap guys to be in that position, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Well, yeah, you want that lucky dog spot. Yeah, Adam, it is definitely a good race going on so far. We've seen one green flag pit stop, and we've seen some shuffling going on up here in the front. Ryan back up to the front. Tony Gray now on the outside.
Dwayne LaPrade did get around Billy there, so put Dwayne LaPrade up into the lucky dog spot.
Okay, so if a caution comes out and he can manage to stay out of it, that'll bring him back on the lead lap, and I'm sure that's what he'd want to see. Get back on that lead lap. If I was Billy, I'd take a wave around and get back on the lead lap also. You know, at least here, you know, can do it. Just depends on your fuel run, but I'd give it a shot. We have Ryan Gemmel right now up on the lead spot. He started first. He's your pole setter. He's got 10 laps led, so far. Shane Papala, he started 16th and he is up to second at the moment. So having a good run here. Tony Gray moving up into second. They'll be shifting back and forth a little bit. Also Shane Gross. Let's see, where did Shane Gross start? Started 16th, finds himself up in second, third, fourth, just depends which lap it's on. And then Kurt Davidson started 17th, and he's got himself up in the front here. Michael Palmer, who started third, he's kind of shifted back a little bit into ninth. Gary Shank started second. He's back in sixth at the moment. And then we go to Len McNeese, who started 12th, and he is in eighth.
It's pretty wild. These guys have been side by side since the start of the race.
Yeah, that makes it such a fun race as a driver. That's a race that you want to be in, where there's just non-stop action all around you. You know, you definitely don't have a chance to get bored.
And it's very good to see that the outside lane is working well for these guys. That they're able to make some moves like that. That's pretty cool.
See the 41 pushing the back of the number 6, trying to keep him out front.
You see Shane Papalo, the first car in that outside lane. He must have pushed Ryan until he couldn't push him anymore. It was getting a little hot probably. Had to jump out to that outer lane. Getting a big push here by Tony Gray.
And he drops it down in front. Now he'll be out in front. See Tony Gray getting a nice run there too now. If Shane can get to the line. He's definitely got that bonus point for leading the lap. See if he can keep it out there for a few more laps. Well, I got scared there for a minute. I thought they went 3 wide. Looked like Shane went up into the middle and Ryan went down low. From the angle I was at, I thought that was going to be pretty bad.
Yeah, that's not a lot of fun when that happens here.
Especially
like, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it looks like a pretty wide track, but when you get 3 wide, you run out of room real quick.
Just looking back a little bit, Dean Viney and Mark McFadden did find each other. They are nose to tail trying to get caught back up to the rest of this pack. And then from the 72 of John Estes to the 33 of Mark Koshix, they are single file trying to get caught back up to that pack. They're about 15 seconds behind. And up front, they are still at it. It hasn't calmed down at all. It's almost like somebody said it's 5 to go.
That's kind of what it looks like at the moment. These guys are doing a great job, though, coming to complete lap 47 here and still caution-free up to this point.
And we see the number 40 of Marcus McFadden down low on the apron, staying out of their way. And Tony Gray with a pretty good run there on the outside. And Tony Gray to the line now, and he'll be scored your leader that lap.
It just doesn't look like the 22 of Shane Gross is able to stay right on his rear bumper like some of these other guys, and that's, you could watch the momentum die off.
Go back to the 25 of Gary Shank, and we'll jump inside with Gary on his roll bar for a little bit. Going to give you a little bit of a feel for inside the truck. You see how you can really pull right up to the 41.
And that gives you a good feel for the banking, just how much banking there is here. I think it's, what, 33 degrees or 31 degrees? That's a lot.
Yeah, we'll switch to the gyro cam for when they come into 3, and you'll see how much it tilts. We see a truck down low, staying down on the apron.
There's the 40 of Marcus McFadden. They get by him nicely.
And you see all that tilt in there, that's that banking, and you don't want to stop up in the top. Kurt Davidson on the outside now, trying to get across and get a lap lead tonight here. Trying real hard. The 89 Shane Papala still managing to keep out front. We've got Gary Shank with 18 laps led, Ryan Gemmel with 14 laps led, Shane Papala with 5 laps led, and then Dean Viney had 7 laps led here tonight also. And he's still tucked up with Mark McFadden, nose to tail, trying to get caught back up to this group. Go back here to the 101 of David Gainforth. He started 9th. He's currently showed in 10th. Michael Campbell started 3rd. He's up to 9th. Randy Perdue started 8th, he's at 13th. Len McNeese started 12th, he's up to 6th. Gary Shank, who started 2nd, finds himself in 5th place. we have Kurt Davidson now to the front. See if you can get across the line and get scored as your leader. So that'll give us a new leader.
It looked like he wasn't quite sure if he was clear there. He kind of hesitated a little bit before he came down to the bottom. I think Shane might have cut him a little bit of a break right there. I wouldn't expect to see that late in the race.
Yeah, not with 5 to go, 7 to go. I don't think that would be a welcome thing. But yeah, you know, when you're in that position, man, you want to jump down and get that spot right away. But man, you don't want to take out the whole field doing it.
While we were talking about that, the 00 of Tony Gray and the 22 of Shane Groves had a huge run coming down the backstretch. It looks like they passed about 4 cars to get back up even with these front 2 guys.
We see the 92 of Michael Campbell back on the outside. I don't know if that's by choice or he just kind of got it up there, but he's going to want to tuck in and not lose that draft. Tell you what, man, these guys are putting on a good show here tonight. Side-by-side action, a lot of hard racing going on so far, very clean. 37 laps to go, no cautions tonight.
I'm really impressed with these guys. Just, I know it's restricted plate track and it's really tight quarters racing, but you know, these guys are doing a great job.
You see these top 5 been going back and forth, man.
And see these 2 on the outside, they're still not giving up. They've been there pretty much the whole race. While they haven't quite gotten clear to be out front, they're not really dropping back any. It's really surprising to see that.
That's really tiring too.
Yeah, it is.
That's a lot of work, man, to stay together like that and keep fighting. Let's go up front with Tony Gray. Let's take a look out Tony Gray's window. See what he's looking at. You can see coming through the turn, the inside line gets the advantage on him. We do see a couple of trucks up in front that are going to either be lap down trucks or trucks that are going to go a lap down. So that's going to play into this. I don't know if they're going to stay high or low. But let's jump outside so we can get a better look at this and see which way they're going to move.
Yeah, we're also coming up on green flag pit stops here. So probably in the next 3 to 4 laps, we'll see some guys starting to peel off and hit pit road.
Yeah, that'll be pretty interesting to see. Is it going to be no tires and fuel, 2 tires and fuel? I mean, for the amount of fuel that you have to take, I would go with right side tires and at least, you know, have half a set.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. But I don't know that Dean Viney, Mark McFadden, all these guys up in this group in front of them have that option really. I think in order to make up some time, they might just have to take fuel only.
I think Mark McFadden and Dean Viney may want to short pit it and get in there, get out, and then this way when these guys go in, maybe they'll have the speed already to at least get back with them or get out maybe even in front of them. I mean, it sounds good in my head. I don't know if it'll really work that good on the track, but you know, it's definitely worth a shot as far back as they are.
Yeah, I don't know. They're pretty far behind at the moment, almost, and they might need a caution territory to try and get caught back up here.
Take a look back from Dean Viney's truck. You can see the lead pack back there, a little bit less than a straightaway back. They are definitely closing in on them a little bit. These guys are doing a good job though, staying together, nose to tail, so not really giving them a real fast advantage. But they're gonna have to do something here, or they're gonna get eaten up by that lead pack.
And we did see Tony Gray was able to get a good push and get to the lead. That leaves Shane Gross on the outside all by himself right now. He's slowly dropping back.
He's already back to 8th. Gonna lose another spot to the 101. And is he going to be able to drop it in? I don't know if Billy's going to give him that opportunity or not. Yeah, he'll go ahead and drop it in. So he'll move it back to 9th. We'll have to try and keep an eye and see when these guys decide to peel off here for the pit. Coming to 30 laps. Well, we're at 30 laps to go. We'll be coming to 29 laps to go this time by. And we see a couple guys tucking it off. Looks like they did a real good job slowing down. I'm going to watch the 41. Oh, he slides through his pit just a little bit. We see the right side going up. Ooh, we see the left side going up on both trucks. And the 89 is out. And the 41 is coming out. So we saw a 4-tire stop there. We see the 71 and the rest of the gang coming in. They did a great job. Everybody slowing down. Looked a little bit crowded there, but they got it done.
It's pretty interesting to see all those 4-tire stops. It leads me to believe that these guys took 2 the last time in.
Excuse me on that. Choking over here. And we see the 48 of Mark McFadden around. Not really sure what happened to him, but we seen him get hit and go around leaving the pit. So it must have been a pretty tight race off the pit road. And the yellow is out.
Got Tony Gray around in turns 1 and 2.
So I was just getting ready to go try and take a look. Go back a little bit here too, so we can see if we can see what happened to Mark McFadden also. Well, we see Mark McFadden around, then we see Tony Gray move up out of his way. Looks like he kind of lost it there, yeah?
And I think some of these guys might have not taken tires at all. and coming off a pit road, looks like they might have just looped him around.
All right, well, that's going to change things up here now. Guys can come in and get tires and not really lose any position. Your first truck on the lap down is the number 13, Dwayne LaPrade, so we'll see if he's going to get the wave around. And then Dean Viney, Mark McFadden, Billy Rodenberger, and Paul Cullen all one lap down. Looks like Paul Cullen's still in the pits, so I wonder if the other three are going to take that wave around. We just saw the 71 in the pits, so I can't imagine not taking a wave around, but will the leaders go in? We see Dean Viney heading into the pits. We're watching Dwayne LaPrade to see if he is the lucky dog, and it looks like he will be the lucky dog, so that'll give him the break that he was looking for tonight.
That puts Len McNeese up to the front.
Well, according to the stats, we've had 20 lead changes. This is the first caution and 26 laps to go at this point. So a real good race here tonight.
Yes, sir. Maybe want to try to get an interview in with anybody?
Yeah, I was going to say, you want to, I'll get on Gary Shank. You want to, I'll grab him down. You want to take a word in with him?
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
All righty.
Hey, Gary, it's Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, we've seen some pretty awesome side-by-side battling going on, and you know, we're 64 laps into this, one caution. How's the race going for you?
Well, it's going pretty good. Obviously fixed setup, so we're all on an even playing field. It looks like everybody's been doing 2 tires on the green flag stops. So I think that last run, the truck did start to push a little bit mid-corner, but I think everybody's playing with the same thing. So it's just who can stay patient for the longest, and I think it's going to come out the victor here.
Yeah, well, so far so good. I mean, we're getting down to the end of it here. You're up in second place. You're in a pretty good spot. Are you surprised that the outside lane's working as well as it is? Usually, that's kind of hit or miss here. We don't usually see it work as good as it is tonight.
It's just a matter of reading who's on the outside and how the run is working and who you're working with. Again, if you get the right combination, it is working quite well. So, yeah, hopefully when the time comes, the right guys will be on the outside pushing.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you for having a word with us here, and good luck out there. Hopefully you find a good partner there to get you to the end. So good luck.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you heard it here.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we're coming down to it here. A little over 20 laps to go. I think it's going to get really exciting now.
Yeah, and Gary Shank comes in, your points leader tonight. So he was only 1 point ahead. There was a tie for second with, I believe it was Tony Gray, and I'm going to have to go take a quick look. Tony Gray and Kurt Davidson were your tie for second. And let's see where Tony Gray and Kurt Davidson are sitting right now. Kurt sitting in 7th and Tony sitting in 14th. So if Gary can stay out in front of them, he's got a good chance of coming out here the leader still, going into race number 4.
Yeah, I think this could be one of those races that really changes up the points. Like you said, those guys were tied for second. They're a little bit further in the pack, but you have restrictor plate tracks. You can really work your way up through there. So we'll see what happens here as we get ready to go back to green.
We see Len McNeese down low with the 101 behind him. We see the 25 of Gary Shank with the 89 behind him. Definitely going to see who can push who out to the front. We'll be coming to 23 laps to go when they go green. Guys have been doing a good job of it tonight. One caution so far, 90 lap race here. Got a bunch of different lead changes. Right now, Gary Shank has 19 laps led. He's got the most here tonight. See if he can stretch that out. Len's going to have something to say about it, though. So sit tight. Hang on. It's going to get rough.
Yeah, you better tighten those belts up and get ready for this last little short stint to the finish here.
And we see the pace car in and the green flag out. Len all alone.
Yeah, Len got a really good jump, but then Gary got a pretty good bump by Shane right there. Doesn't quite get clear, Len.
You just don't want to be out that far ahead, and they're going to go 3 wide up here in the front.
Oh, geez, that's not what you want to see.
And the 25 stuck in the middle.
You see the 6 of Ryan Gemmel pushing the 89 of Shane Papala. Gary's able to tuck back up in there right behind Ryan. Len still has a pretty big gap before anyone can give him any type of help. See Ryan and Shane down low.
Able to get down in front. Yeah, that's a rough, that was a good start by Len, but the problem is when you, on this kind of a track, when you get that far ahead of everybody, man, they just, they catch you like you're standing still.
Yeah, and that was a pretty bold move by Shane Papala right there, but it worked out for him. It got him up to the front. We'll see if he can keep it there.
Take a look from our blimp here.
Looks like your front 2 guys are the only ones side by or single file. Everybody else is side by side.
Let's see if that outside line can gather it up. They have 5 trucks out there. If they can just get it together, they'll go right back to the front. Shane will have to do some evasive maneuvers here, man, to try to break that run, because here comes Gary Shank on the outside.
Looks like the 91 that Jim Lockton really checked up, rolled out of the throttle. Didn't really quite help Gary that much right there, as you see him starting to drop back. So
yeah, I wonder if the 91 got a little bit pushy there. You heard Gary saying that the truck on 2 tires a little bit pushy. I don't know if Jim took 2 or 4 that last stop. Oh man, these guys are giving it all they got right now.
yeah, it's getting down to the end. This is where you're going to see guys starting to move around a little more and poles close up quicker, and definitely no room's going to be given now. This is take all you can get right now.
And we got Tony Gray up to 7th. And Kurt Davidson up to 12th. Those 2 were tied for 2nd place coming in tonight. Gary Shank right now in third, who was your leader coming in. We see Len McNeese moving up to the fourth, fifth spot. Once again, depending on what lap you're on.
Yeah.
Definitely fighting it out hard, but keeping it clean. We come across for 18 to go here, folks.
See these guys getting really close in the corners, trying to side draft, get that run coming off the corner.
Yeah, here's where you're going to take a few more chances than you normally would. I mean, this late in, and we see, looks like the 74 up in the wall. Don't know if he made contact with somebody, but he manages to keep it going straight, so we will stay green. We go back up front.
Jim got a really good push, or Jim pushed Gary really good to get Gary in front of that inside line, but Jim Locking's getting pushed by the 31 of Michael Palmer.
Yeah, he's got a real good run going there on the outside.
Didn't quite have enough to get him clear there.
The 31 of Michael Palmer looking real strong, man, pushing real hard. Trying to give everything he got to get that 91 up to the front. Just a little bit short to hang on to it.
And we see Shane Papala all over the rear bumper of Gary Shank trying to keep that 25 out front.
We see Jim Locking does get scored for leading a lap, so he'll get a bonus point here tonight, which definitely is going to help. But I know he wants to lead that last lap.
Looks like these guys are side by side all the way back to about 14th place. It's pretty wild.
And we just, we have the 89 blinking out just a little bit. Kind of stabilized again. We have Tony Gray up to 5th and Kirk Davidson at 10th right now. Jim Locking. Oh, some contact to 25 going around.
Oh, huge wreck. Looks like everybody but the top 3 involved in that one. It's the big one at Daytona.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I did not think we were going to see that. Oh, let's go back and take a look at that. Oh, that's rough. We're sitting with the 25 right now. We got a little bit of unstableness. We see him going around. Wow, I mean, that was the big one. Lots of cars destroyed. Lots of trucks destroyed on that one. So
Yeah, it looked like the 31 of Michael Palmer gave the 91 of Jim Locking a really good push, and as Jim was coming down to go to the inside line, Michael Palmer was going down with him, kind of came across the nose of Gary right there, and just collected everybody at that point. That's what happens when a wreck starts up front. The guys in the back have nowhere to go. It's just pretty wild.
we'll have to see who had their fast repair saved and can make it under their own power into the pit. If you have to tow, I mean, that's pretty rough. You probably end up a lap down, but if you can make it through on your own power and you got that fast repair, you still have a shot.
Well, that puts the 91 of Jim Locking up to first place. It's like the 74 of Billy Rodenberger going to be your lucky dog.
Let's see. Who do you think we should get a word in with?
I'll leave this one up to you, buddy.
Gee, thanks. Let me see. Maybe we can find somebody that's got some laps led here.
How about Tony Gray, since he narrowly missed that huge crash?
All right, let me see if I get a hold of him. Hey, Tony Gray, you got a copy?
Yeah, we got you, Paul.
Well, dude, started 8th. You're up in 3rd. You just barely missed that one. How you feeling?
I don't know. I feel a little better now that I missed that one, but yeah, I knew that one was getting a little. I thought that's what Mike was going to do. I thought he was going to try to get down there, you know. I just didn't think there was enough room, and of course there wasn't. And hated to see that one there happen. Right there, it took out a lot of good guys. I know they'll be back up here, but like I say, that's the nature of the beast at these places.
Yeah, I mean, it's been clean. Even that last run there before that wreck. I mean, guys are riding hard side by side, definitely giving a lot of room. Well, giving a lot of respect. Closing up that gap, though, you can see a little bit more of the side drafting and all coming in, and you know, some chances being taken. So we had a feeling something may happen, but you know, you escaped it. So you're definitely sitting in a good spot right now, 3rd, man, with, you know, probably 10 to go when we, you know, go back green.
Yeah, definitely feeling good right now at the moment. Anyway, like I say, just kind of got to get ready to make some decisions on what's going to happen. I've been like in the outside all night, and I've been trying to run up front a lot. And anytime somebody would jump up in front of me, I would try to go ahead and push them and get them. Hopefully, they would pull back down and leave me with clean air. But now I just don't know what to do. Yeah, you don't know whether you jump out on that high side. You got any friends with you here at the end of the race or not?
Yeah. Well, you're looking real strong, and hopefully you get a good finish here tonight. I know you came in tied for 2nd in the points coming into the race, so you know, a good finish here tonight would definitely help that. All we can say is good luck, man, and hopefully we get to talk to you at the end of the race.
Well, I sure hope so. I appreciate it. We'll know here shortly.
All right, man. Strap it on and hang on tight, bro.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. You're going to need it.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I hear him, you know. He's like, I don't know. That's the choices you're going to have to make. Do you got any friends or not?
Yeah, it's a pretty tough call. I don't know if the outside's really where you want to be coming to the end of this. I think there's going to be some guys that jump to the outside. If you stay to the inside, you might have a chance to pick up a spot or potentially go for the win here. So we'll see what happens. We get ready to go back green. I think we're on 1 to go now.
Yeah. I think what it would be if I was Tony. You only have a split second to make that decision, but I would see how this start goes, where I end up, and who's going to be behind me in that, you know, pushing if I was to jump up to the outside. I think if I was him right now, Ryan Gembel's behind him. We know Ryan Gembel's been strong. I think I would just stay down on the inside and you know, try for the best, man.
Yeah, I think that's probably your best bet. Try to stay down to the inside here and just put yourself in a good position. I mean, they're coming to 10 to go, and I think the inside's been a little bit better tonight. I think that's where you want to be coming to the end here.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm gonna have you get us going this time. Hopefully, the last time for tonight.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Definitely gonna see a very hard-fought finish here tonight.
Pace cars in. Green flag's out, and they're back underway for the final 10 laps here at Daytona. The 91 of Jim Locking got a really good restart right there. He's got a good push by Tony Gray, Ryan Gemmel right behind him.
And you see
Like
that? That's a real good start right there too. Everybody kind of stayed bunched up, so not really anybody lagging back or getting too far ahead.
I'm sure Michael Palmer doesn't think it was the greatest of starts. You see the 41 of Kurt Davidson.
Oh,
they're wrecking.
And the 25 of Gary Shank involved in that one again. Oh man, that's going to end Gary's night there. Try and see what happened here. Look like the 5. Let's go back to the number 5 of Randy Perdue and try to get a better camera angle. See what happened with the number 5. I don't know if he got pushed by the 101. Seemed like he got turned down just a little bit. One more time, let's back her up and see. Oh, looked like the... Ooh, kind of tough, man. Looked like the 13 might have come up into him. He was almost in the middle, 3 wide there. But, man, that's going to eat up a lot of trucks here now. After that fast repair been out.
Looked like Tony Gray was able to get up into the lead after all that.
Yeah, we saw him go up there, and Ryan Gemmel did follow him up, which, we said Ryan was pretty strong here so far. So, if you're going to go up in that high line, that's one guy you'll want behind you tonight for sure. This is going to change things up again. Look who's sitting in 4th place. Mr. Dwayne LaPrade, who was a lap down at one point and alone on the track. So, it just shows you, man, it ain't over till it's over.
Yeah, I think, well, that definitely, those last 2 cautions shuffled things up quite a bit here. And I think once these top few guys go back and look at this, they're going to realize how lucky they were. Just how close they missed a couple of these wrecks. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. So we'll wait for them to go across the line one more time, but it looks like our top 5 is going to be Tony Gray, Jim Locking, Ryan Gemmel, Dwayne LaPrade, and Michael Campbell for your top 5. If we go back from 6th to 10th, you have Mark Koshix in 6th, Shane Papala in 7th, Shane Gross in 8th, Kurt Davidson in 9th, and Michael Palmer rounding out the top 10. But 25 lead changes. This is caution number 3. It's been clean pretty much up until the end here. Just a little bit of hard racing, guys taking a little bit more chances than you normally would. But at this stage of the race, I mean, that's what it's about,
Yeah, we've seen these guys coming up to these last 2 cautions. They weren't given a whole lot of room, side drafting and really pushing hard. And that's what happens when you start pushing that much. And guys are trying to get everything they can now coming to the end of the race. And unfortunately, that's restrictor plate racing for you.
Yeah, and you're gonna have that. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do about that. You don't want to just sit back and wait. And I lost sound for some reason.
Well, that's not good.
God, I believe it came back now. Yeah, something just flashed over here on my screen and all sound just went out. So thankfully that's all it was. But not a bad race tonight though, man. You know, we've seen a lot of side-by-side action. Too wide, pretty much, you know, up front all night long. That outside line has definitely been a competition for that inside line. We've seen a lot of guys get pushed through the outside line up to the front. We saw Tony Gray on that last restart jump up in the outside with the number 6 of Ryan Gemmel, and that got him out in the front now for this start. And we're at 7 laps to go. We'll be probably doing a 5-lap shootout once they go green.
Yeah, I'm sure these guys are thinking too. Let it go green to the end. I don't think anyone out there wants to finish this under yellow, but anything can happen here in these last 5 laps. That's for sure.
I'll tell you what, the one driver that really sticks out right now is the number 13, Dwayne LaPrade. Man, you know, we've seen him out there a lap down at one point and alone on the track, and he's up here in 4th and has a chance at a win here tonight, man. It just shows you, you know, you can't give up. You just never know. It's not over till it's over, man.
Yeah, he's definitely had a little bit of luck on his side tonight, and sometimes you need that. Like you said, we've seen him way in the back, lost the draft, was all by himself, went a lap down, and you know, he's right here. He's going to be in contention for a top 3 spot and potentially a win. So I think it's like you said, it ain't over till it's over. You got to keep plugging away at it, and you never know what can happen.
Yeah, because it's so easy just to quit and say, you know, I'm a lap down. I'm so far behind. I'll never get back up. He could have easily quit, and look, you know, he could run away with the win here tonight. But there's a lesson in there somewhere.
Never give up.
Yeah. All right, well, we are side by side. The lights are out. We're going to wait for the pace car to go in. Hopefully they can get these last 5 laps under green. It'd be really cool to see this end under green. Not that they can't do it, but I just think the hard racing that we're going to see, man, it's going to be really hard. We see Tony Gray on the inside with Ryan Gemmel behind him. We saw those two go to the outside and get up front. Jim Locking up top with the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade. So you're definitely going to see some fighting going on. And it's green instantly.
It's a pretty even restart so far. Like Jim Locking doesn't really have any help, so this bottom line's going to pull out in front.
And we see a little bit of a shift up there, and we see Dwayne LaPrade jump down to the inside now. I mean, 5 laps is a long way around here. It's not that quick, so, you know, there's still plenty time to get up to the front. We see the top 4 here, Tony Gray, Ryan Gemmel, Michael Campbell, and Shane Pavala up there in the front. And Jim Locking's trying to catch on to them. Looks like they've broken up into 2 groups here.
It looks like Ryan and Shane are going to go to the outside. Kind of looked like Shane was going to take a 3 wide there for a second. Tony Gray's got the 92 of Michael Campbell and the 91 of Jim Locking back behind him.
Man, I'll tell you what, you just don't know what's going to go on. You see Dwayne LaPrade, he must have some damage because he's slowly moving back. He's back into 10th.
Yeah, I think he might have had a little more damage than he thought because he didn't get going very well on that start. And he dropped back in a hurry.
And we see those two guys up in the outside line trying, man, to get up there in the front. I think they need to get in front of the 91 and the 91 jump behind them and get them going a little bit more.
It looks like they're not really able to stay connected. And it's letting the 92 of Michael Campbell and this 00 at Tony Gray pull away a little bit.
All they need is a good run here, man, when they come down to the white flag. We're at 2 to go right now. The 22 of Shane Gross and the 33 of Mark Kosick join that bunch. 33 goes high. See if those three trucks up top can help push that 6 and that 89 more forward. Looking at it from 33's point, I go high too and try and gain another spot or two if I can get these guys moving.
Yeah, it looks like this is a pretty tight battle here as we come. It's just 1 to go.
Yeah, we're at the white flag. And they are getting a little bit closer to the leader.
See, these guys are pushing with all they got right now, coming down the back stretch.
We have 2 rows of 3. Looks like Tony Gray does still have the advantage. Some real tight side draft in there between the 89 and the 92.
It's so close. Is it going to be Tony Gray?
Wow, Tony Gray, Michael Campbell, and Ryan Gemmel.
What a finish. That was a great battle there for the last 5 laps. That was awesome.
Well, they managed to finish it under green, which is always welcome, man. I'd rather finish under green than finish under yellow. Definitely a lot of fun. If Tony Gray goes down and burns them up here at Daytona. 90 laps here and 3 cautions. Hard racing. Tony Gray comes out your winner tonight, man. Congratulations to Tony. We'll get a word in with Ryan Gemmel. We'll get Ryan Gemmel first, and then we'll work our way down third to first.
Michael Campbell was the 3rd place finisher tonight.
Are you sure?
And on the iRacing scoring, it's shown Tony Gray, Ryan Gemmel, and Michael Campbell.
All right, yeah, because my IRTVO is showing Tony Gray, Michael Campbell, and Ryan. So I guess it might be unofficial. All right, so let's see if we can get caught up with Ryan here. Well, actually, oh boy, I don't know which way to go.
That's, I don't know. I say we pull in Michael Campbell first.
You see him up here.
Yes, sir, I got him. Hey, Michael, it's Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
was green there for a long time, and we saw a few big cautions there at the end. How were you? How'd you feel maneuvering through all that?
Scared. Yeah, it happens here at these tracks, but just got to back off and hope for the best.
Yeah, we had a pretty good run tonight. We saw you up front a lot, and you know, surprising to see the outside lane working very well. Guys were able to make passes, get up to the lead like that. And it was pretty interesting. It put on a good show. Um, Anything you feel you could have done differently there at the end?
No, not really. I got behind Tony and I just said, well, I'll just push him to the win. No sense of trying to wreck somebody, you know?
Hey, I hear you. So, well, congratulations tonight on your third place finish. I'm sure you're happy to come out of here. You made it all the way through, and you completed all the laps and finished in the top three tonight. So, congratulations. And before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank GAC for letting me come back in and race with them. A bunch of good guys here. They've always been good. I've been away for a while, and it's good to be back in the seat here with these guys. They're awesome. And my wife, Laura. I want to thank her for sponsoring my car.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, congratulations again on your third place finish, and we'll let you go celebrate.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right, Ryan Gemmel, you got a copy.
Yes, sir.
Well, dude, there's a little bit of confusion up here. You started on the pole. It shows that you finished second here on one score and third. Where do you have an official finish for you?
On the standings that I'm seeing here, it's showing Tony Gray first, me second, and Michael Campbell third.
All right. Yeah, my IRTVO is a little bit behind. Well, yeah, got 14 laps led. You started on the pole, had a great qualifying run. You kept it up front for quite a while, man. You looked pretty strong out there. Give us a breakdown of your race, man.
Well, me and Kurt Davidson and Shane Pippola worked well together from the start, and that first caution that came out, we were just coming around turn 2, and we had already pitted, and I think it was the top 5 were just coming out of the pits, and if that caution wouldn't have come out, I feel like we probably would have gotten around him and maybe even pulled away. So if it would have went green, the three of us would have had a real great shot at it. And but it was such a fun race. I love these tracks. Most people know that plate tracks are my favorite tracks, so to come out and get the pole and run the way I did, and the run the way me, Shane, and Kurt all did together was just absolutely awesome, and it was a blast.
Yeah, it was definitely a good race tonight, man. You guys kept it green for a long, long time, and the couple cautions that happened towards the end. I mean, that's only hard racing there at the end. I mean, you start taking a little bit more chances than what you would have before, but definitely put on a great show here tonight. You had Adam Baker out here rooting for you, and hoping you were going to get up there and grab that win. But hey, you got the pole. You finished second, 14 laps led, some bonus points. Definitely a good start. Coming out of here. I believe next week they go into Dover. What do you think you got for him over at Dover?
Dover in the trucks is honestly probably one of my best tracks aside from plate tracks. I love Dover. We raced there in Somo either last week or 2 weeks ago, and had a really strong truck then, and I'm hoping to carry that momentum from Somo into the race next week.
Oh, that'd be good, man. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. Once again, congratulations, man, on the pole tonight and taking her home second. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go, man?
Just a shout out to Shane and Kurt for helping me out and the way we worked together today, and you guys for putting on these broadcasts, and Dean for hosting everything. It's a blast. So thanks to all you guys.
All right, man. We'll go celebrate. Congratulations on the run here tonight. We look forward to seeing you at Dover, bro.
All right, thanks.
All right, Joe. You may get Tony. I'll see if I can get a good shot of him here.
Hey Tony, it's Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha, Joe.
Well, you're able to avoid a couple big ones there at the end. You made a great move on one of the last restarts. You get yourself up front, and you're able to bring it home for the victory. How'd your race go for you?
Well, I'm tickled with it for sure. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. Like when I was speaking with y'all earlier, I knew the outside was where you needed to be to try to make a pass. Is where it seemed everybody was doing it at the night. And uh, when I knew I was clear, I said, here's my chance. So I took a gamble, and it just happened to pay off for me tonight. Like I say, got out there and was able to get the lead when the caution come out. So that's definitely what did it for me tonight.
That's awesome, man. Your plan came together. Usually that's not the case. So it's good to see that you had something in mind and you're able to put it to good use. You know, you came in, you were tied second in points. I believe this is it's going to put you in the points lead now. So how do you feel about that?
Well, I'd like to say, definitely pleased with it. Still got a long way to go. Got a lot of races left, so anything can happen. And like I say, with these guys, you just never know week in or week out. A lot of good guys over here racing, so you got to get up on the wheel and race as hard as you can every single race. But we're in a good spot. We're where you want to be, so we'll just have to see how it goes on from here.
Well, that's cool. Next week, I think we're headed to Dover. What do you have in store for the guys there?
I like Dover. Like I say, you know, a lot of the tracks that we got left, I feel real confident, real comfortable at all of them. So, you know, Dover is one of those tracks that you just have to be patient and try to stay clean there. So hopefully that's what we can do, and hopefully the good luck will stay with us for another week.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on your win tonight, and hopefully we get to talk to you again next week. And before we let you go and celebrate with everyone, is there anyone you'd like to thank or give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a shout out to Double G Landscaping, Dunn Benson Ford, Lucas Oil, and Old School Motorsports. And like I said, definitely want to thank Dean and Lynn and all the guys over here at JC putting this league on. And it's like I say, it's just run top notch. So appreciate everything they do. I know it's a lot of hard work keeping the league going. And you and Paul up in the booth, man. I can't thank y'all guys enough for coming out and supporting us and putting on the broadcast and letting everybody come out and enjoy it. So thank you guys very much. I know there's a lot of that also.
All right. Well, thank you, and congratulations on your victory tonight. And we'll hopefully we get to talk to you again next week, and we'll let you go celebrate with everybody.
All right, Joe. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations there, Tony.
Thank you, Paul.
All right, well, there's Tony Gray. 17 laps led, started 8th, takes her home first. Definitely a great run there at the end. You see him get up in the front and get her done. These guys will be heading, I believe, into Dover next week, so we'll see what he's got over there for Dover. Tony Gray was the last season's champion in the super late models, so off to a good start here, man, for race number 3. And definitely put on a good show tonight. These guys was 90 laps here at Daytona with 3 cautions and lots of racing in between. There was no just driving around. We've seen a lot of give and take, a lot of moving. The outside line worked pretty good. So I don't know about you, man, but I enjoyed the race. I enjoyed watching it just as much as I did calling it.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was a very exciting race, and hats off to these guys. 3 cautions for 90 laps at a restrictor plate track. That's amazing, and yeah, that just shows how well these guys race together, and all these guys know one another very well, and they put on a great show, and it was just awesome to be a part of it.
And it had a good sized field too, man. So good to see everybody come out tonight. We'll go ahead and run over the race results here, and we'll get her locked down. All right, taking her home in first is Tony Gray with the win tonight. So congratulations once again to Tony. Second place is Ryan Gemmel. Third place, Michael Campbell. Fourth place, Shane Papala. Fifth place, Jim Locking. Sixth place goes to Mark Koshik. Seventh goes to Shane Gross. Kurt Davidson will take it home 8th. 9th place is Michael Palmer. 10th place to Dwayne LaPrade. Good recovery by Dwayne. Joe?
Len McNeese finishes 11th. 12th place is Randy Perdue. Marcus McFadden finishes 13th. David Gainforth in 14th. Dean Viney in 15th. 16th is Billy Rodenberger. 17th, Gary Schenk. John Estes finishes 18th. Mark McFadden finished 19th. 20th is Paul Cohen and 2 cars that didn't start the field tonight. 21st, Timothy Kelleher, and 22nd was Matt Werrick Jr.
Definitely a great run here tonight by GAC. Tune in next Monday at Dover at 8:45 here on SR Broadcasting, and tune in for another high fun energy race. Dover is definitely a good track. Going to be a lot of hard racing there. So looking forward to it. Joe, thanks again for being up here with me in the booth. A lot of fun. Try to keep it as interesting as we can. And excuse us for our little bit of troubles that we had in the beginning with some of the sounds. Hopefully we got it a little bit better for you during the broadcast. And thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yep, thank you, and thanks to everyone who tuned in. I appreciate it and had a lot of fun tonight. And thank you, Paul, for having me on with you. It's a lot of fun. If you guys like what you saw, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and tune in next week.
Have a good race week, everyone.